Well, of course, if you want to get a mortgage, the first thing we have to talk about is making money. And now my next guest is all about making money, Mr. Matt Chipman. He is the editor-in-chief of the Green Baron Report. Matt, it's been a while.
Yeah, been a few weeks. Glad to be back.
It seems like every time I talk to you on the program, we've just emerged from one of the more volatile periods in the stock market. And, I mean, we don't plan it that way. It just seems to work out.
Well, the VIX is up, I know, steadily above 40, which is an incredible, amount of volatility in the market. We expect the volatility to continue. It's probably going to continue through the rest of the year as we bump along and get these numbers that sway us from determining whether we are going into a recession, out of a recession, how much help is there going to be needed to keep the banks in Europe on an even keel as they deal with some of the countries over there that are having problems.
I saw an interesting quote yesterday where one analyst was saying that, frankly, the U.S. markets are being held hostage by what's going on in Europe.
Well, they are. I mean, we seem to react every time Greece hiccups, and there's, there's certainly, it seems that some hard decisions are being made. The European central banks are making their decisions. The stronger countries in the European Union are certainly being asked to do some things they don't want to do. And the hard decisions are being handed down in order to get that debt back over to Greece, which is the first stepping stone. Right. You're seeing the reaction from trying to squeeze more money out of the people there, and by the riots in the streets. And I'm not sure when that's
what I find most amazing about this whole European situation is it was really just about 36 months ago that everybody was telling us, and everybody we would listen to was saying that the euro was going to emerge as the world's reserve currency. And now these same analysts are saying the euro is not going to survive the next 12 months.
Yeah, I don't think it's exactly the place to go to because, I always felt that was going to be an issue long ago because if you have a few underperforming partners, how is that fair to the guys that are always seem to be pulling you along? And it's problematic from the get-go as far as I'm concerned, and hopefully, we can get some resolution. I'm not confident, this whole thing with Greece is going to emerge very, very good, and I think the sooner they make some harder decisions on how to handle it, the better.
Well, as I was just mentioning with Roger Schlesinger a moment ago, whenever there is chaos, obviously there also presents opportunity. What kind of things are you looking at right now where there's opportunity?
There are some of the best opportunities that we've ever seen. Really, there are some people that have literally thrown out the baby with the bathwater. They are just ditching some stocks that are fantastic plays. I've seen stocks go from 25, 30 cents down to a few pennies. Wow. That are just, to me, have underlying valuation, earnings, predictable revenues, contracts in place, and those companies are there. And we're starting to expose some of those. We're doing something we really haven't done in a long time, and that is expose these companies that we have followed quite a bit in the past, and we're not even doing it for any cost. So we did one a couple weeks ago. We're calling them Legends of the Fall. Picks that are coming out during the autumn season that we think are going to have legendary returns. And we had one that kind of came out a few weeks ago that performed triple-digit returns the day we released it, and we're going to put out a couple more next week.
Now, and what we're talking about is when the opportunity presents itself, that could not happen if people on the other end of the spectrum weren't panicking. And I guess from an investor's standpoint, the best advice that we can give people is to not panic, correct?
Do your homework in the stocks that you're invested in. If you feel good about those investments, they tell you don't ever average down on a loser. I typically recommend the same thing because you want to wait. It's easy to say wait till it stops going down, but it's good advice. When the stock stops going down and seems to be turning on the chart, we look at those as tremendous opportunities.
The Green Baron Report, you can visit them at thegreenbaron.com. Matt Chipman, always great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me again, Don.